So today we have Professor Armour from the Department of Science and Technology at York University.
So one of the goals I have is using this is you have to write so your peers understand what you're writing about, which I think is a hugely practical skill. In the workplace, you'll be writing reports for, people who may not be specialists in your area. So you have to learn this kind of generalist writing. So learning to give your peers good feedback so they can make themselves better, I think is a really, really important thing. Here they can do it anonymously, so it's a little more comfortable. If they say things that are a little off or whatever, I can go in and adjust so that they learn to do this. So when they go out in the workplace, they have to write evaluations. It can be effective. And I guess I've come to this a couple of times, but the constant feedback. So they do a little assignment, they get feedback, they can improve on the next one. And they can look, because of the way I've set up the categories, it's like, well, I did well in these categories, but this one I'm a little weak. So now I need to work on that for my next assignment, because that's where I'm sort of falling behind.
I use Kritik for an organic chemistry course, which isn't typically the type of course you would get personalized feedback on, especially with like how large the class was. It was like over 200 students. And so using Kritik gave me the opportunity to actually receive personalized feedback. Otherwise I wouldn't have got it. Particularly with like molecule drawing, was really great. I was actually able to apply my knowledge and practice these drawings and receive personalized feedback.
If you use the same rubric and you have similar expectations, you will find over the course that the students, because they're getting this constant feedback, the quality of the assessments they're handing in becomes much, much better. Right? They start to understand about, okay, what do I need to improve, which is really what the learning process is. And I tell them too, it's like, look, when you read your peers' work, it's not just about you assessing them, but it's also about seeing how someone else does their work, which can help you think about what other kind of things can I do, right? So there's an assessment part, but in a way, it's also, I wouldn't call it group work, but you're learning from your peers on the different approaches they take to answering a question.
A lot of people in general just don't kind of realize the tone that the writing can come off sometimes, especially when it's like written. So I think Kritik was really good for that in terms of improving written communication skills, especially as a STEM student. There's not many courses for me personally to really improve on that. I was able to receive written feedback too on how to improve on my evaluations. And yeah, and that overall just helped me learn how to control like my tone of written speech. And like, that's obviously really important for like a lot of workplaces, especially to me, like right now as a co-op student working remotely, like knowing how to like communicate with written word is incredibly important.
And you can sort of see how they're improving their research because now they're understanding what kind of sources they should go to. They're improving sort of how they put the material together, and they're improving sort of how they link it back into the course material. And because you do so many little ones and because they get sort of regular feedback, it really does make a difference.